Alright, let's talk about something that confused a lot of people this week. Everyone saw the headline. The president paused the tariffs. And immediately people thought, okay, great. Maybe prices will finally drop. But here's the part the headline doesn't explain. Yes, some tariffs were paused, but not all of them. Businesses have already priced in a higher cost, and some industries are still expecting another round of increases in 2026. So for today, I'm going to break this down in plain English. No jargon, no politics, just what this actually means for your wallet. So here's the quick version. The pause wasn't on everything. It was mainly on the new reciprocal tariffs, a few import duties that were rushed out early this year, and a handful of categories that didn't fall under national security rules. This pause was meant to calm the markets, but because investors were nervous, businesses were warning about higher costs, and trading partners were pushing back hard. But again, this was only a partial pause. And this is where most people get surprised. A lot of the big tariffs are still in place, including higher tariffs on Chinese imports, tariffs on parts they use in electronics, tariffs on batteries and energy components, tariffs on metals and building materials, and certain auto parts tariffs, industrial goods used in manufacturing, and even items like lighting, wiring, and hardware. So even if the final product isn't taxed directly, the parts used to make it, they are. And that still raises the price of what ends up on the store shelves. A lot of people ask, if the tariffs are paused, why aren't prices dropping? And here's the simple truth. Stores already bought inventory at the higher tariff rates. Those costs are already baked in. Retailers aren't discounting something just because future tariffs might be lower. Companies almost never lower prices once they raise them. Price cuts usually only happens when demand drops or competition forces the change. And a tariff pause doesn't guarantee either. Importers raised wholesale prices months ago. And once they make that change, they rarely reverse it. Shipping costs, fuel, insurance, all rising. So even if tariff paused, other costs are still climbing. That's why prices don't fall. They just stop rising as fast. Here's the part nobody's really talking about. Even with this pause, 2026 is still trending towards higher prices. Why? The pause is temporary. Tariffs can snap back instantly. Companies are already switched to more expensive suppliers. Retailers sign a long-term import contracts at a higher cost level. Shipping, insurance keeps rising because of global conflicts. Ports and trucking companies are dealing with labor shortages. In other words, even if the pause stays in place, the cost structure behind the everyday product is still getting heavier. So when the headline says tariffs pause, it sounds like everything should suddenly get cheaper, but that's not what it means. It just means that prices won't jump as quickly, but they're not going back down. Most people won't feel any relief at all. And some categories, electronics, tools, lighting, home items, could actually see second wave of increases in 2026. So what does this mean for you? It means prices stay sticky, stubborn, and frustratingly high. A tariff pause doesn't undo months of higher grocery bills, expensive electronics, rising home improvement costs like higher auto repair bills, expensive tools and hardware, or those ridiculous car insurance premiums. This is one of the reasons many families feel like everything still costs too much, even when the news says things should be improving. So yes, the tariffs were passed. But no, that doesn't mean prices fall. It doesn't mean inflation disappears. And it definitely doesn't mean that the pressure on family goes away. The truth is we're living in a high cost system now. And even past tariffs can't unwind what's already locked in. I'll keep tracking all of this for you because the next few months are going to reveal a lot. Thank you for watching.